Hi, welcome to Metal to the Masses London. This is Rob, he plays drums.
And this is Tom, he plays guitar and he sings.
And we are
Bad
FRANKENHAUSEN.
Metal to the Masses 2016 London. We've heard about FRANKENHAUSEN. How you guys doing?
Yeah, good, yeah, brilliant.
We are in the depths of Nambucca. Secret location. How do you guys think?
We've been really good.
Yeah, roll, aren't we?
Yeah, we've had a pretty exciting year, to be honest, since we last spoke with you. After leaving Metal to the Masses quarterfinals in 2015, we recorded our first debut release. We did a whole bunch of gigs. We sort of really polished our style, and we thought around November we're in a position to enter again, and here we are.
For those people out there who haven't heard you, how would you describe yourself?
Wow, how would I describe it? Well, a lot of classic metal in there. So we're talking Sabbath, Middle Purple,
Yeah.
Zeppelin, Cream,
Heavy rock.
Heavy rock, yeah.
Yeah, but also sort of combining that with some of our more modern influences. We kind of love the stoner rock and the doom bands, you know, Sleep, Caius, and quite a lot of mainstream stuff as well. You know, it all comes together. At the moment, a lot of Baroness as well. But you know, it's keeping it for us. It's keeping it simple, like heavy music, but classically in the sense heavy. One guitar, bass, drums, vocals, simple, heavy riffs.
So where did it start with that FRANKENHAUSEN?
Where did it start?
Yeah, it's sort of a long
question.
A long and interesting tale. We met at my old work, where we were both working, and it just so happened. I think we were friendly anyway, but I noticed some drumsticks in his bag. In his bag.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I think he used to jam
for a cheeky practice.
Yeah, in this music room, and so and I think it sort of went from there. There was talk in really early days. I was going to be a guitarist in a goth band, and it was going to be sort of like maybe sort of slightly industrial goth metal stuff, and it didn't happen. But I sort of kept
we couldn't stay in the makeup though.
I couldn't. It was a nightmare. All that powder and lipstick. To be 21 again. Anyway. And I had a mate called Paul who played the bass, and we knew we were into the same sort of thing. A lot of proggy, heavy, rock metal, black metal, those kind of things. And we sort of got together, and we had a bunch of different vocalists, and we sort of played together. And this was probably, you know, I think from around 2009. You know, so we've been practicing playing, writing together for maybe 7 years or so, maybe even slightly longer.
Possibly, yeah.
But I think it wasn't until 2013 where we sort of went as a three-piece.
Yeah. We had to lose the singer, really.
Yeah, we had to lose him. But I mean, yeah, I sort of stepped up with the vocals, and I think it was fair to say it was a musically particularly.
Yeah. We were myself, Tom, and Paul, bassists, were the three that were, you know, we've been on the journey longest. We're the most, I think, we've got the most in common musically as well.
Yeah,
so.
and we've discussed things like having other members, maybe perhaps singer, perhaps another guitarist or keyboard player. But actually, you know, we're with the core, we've been playing it, and one thing people say with us is love us or hate us. I think they agree we're quite tight musically, and we've got a certain vibe because we've been playing together for so long. But it's been, I think, nearly 3 years of taking stuff, rewriting stuff, and we sort of come to the position where we are now.
Kind of touched on it earlier, but what material have you got out and what are you working on?
Well, Ricky, it's funny you should say.
Where is it?
We have a live album. Now, this is one of the last copies, which we'd like you to have. It's now available via our Bandcamp exclusively, so that's yours. And also,
like it or not, it's yours.
Like it or not, very, very recently again, we released our first full-length Ents, which I mentioned earlier, which is our full-length debut. We're not sure if it's an album, it's a bit longer than the EP, but it's sort of, we based around this classic sort of 70s releases where you've got, we try to make every song killer, we've got an instrumental. We're not going to give you 17 tracks that you're going to fall asleep around the time 11, around the time track 11 comes. Really cool, we're really proud of it, and that's also a little present from us to you. And these are all available via Bandcamp. We, along with the t-shirt that Rob is sexily modelling, or always business. Those are available. You can buy physical copies of the CDs, or you can download them or speak to us at gigs. We're really proud of them. We've been working. We worked for a long, long time on them, and
that's right.
The live album's cool because I feel that we are primarily a live band, but the studio recording is something we really wanted to do, and we're actually now in the position where we might be popping into the studio again in a few months to do another one. So
you keep it busy.
It's actually gigs.
Gigs are actually slowing us down slightly. You know? We get getting invited to play places. It's sort of it's a nightmare.
But I suppose obviously there's appreciate that. How does a track come about with you guys? And do you have a set process, or does it evolve?
I'd be interested to hear your perspective.
Yeah, it's almost never me. It's almost never me. Sometimes it's Paul, isn't it? He'll come in with a rumbling bass, and quite often it is you with the initial. Because we're a very riff-based band, so it does make sense that it comes from Tom. There are some occasions where I'll put together a song, and that does happen, and present it to the band. Yeah.
There are some occasions where I come with a riff. There are lots of occasions, including recently, where we jam a riff, or Paul comes in with something, we put it together. But I think that to sort of say that I perhaps come in and give them complete songs will be completely inaccurate. We're very much, and I think you'll agree, it's not really one of our songs till everyone's had a go with it together.
That's right.
Yeah, true. Rob might be downplaying his sort of contribution. There's a lot that goes into them, and I think particularly because of being such a small band, such a free piece, the drums do so much to it. It is for us about the riff. It's about finding a really good hook to base a song around. Sometimes it can be one, sometimes it can be multiple things. Recently we've been doing a lot more chordy stuff, which is different. Yeah. And then it all seems to go together. We've recently been sort of shying away from our raison d'etre, which is the kind of very juvenile sense of humour. So I do feel that in some ways we're slightly growing up. Although saying that, we just wrote a song called Pussy Ole, which perhaps puts us back to where we were. But
maybe it's still a reminder that we're still who we are.
Yeah, we are still. So it's taking this riff, it's bringing it together,
exactly.
Trying not to be stupid, but not really helping it, and just sort of seeing where it goes. We've had some sort of fantastic times where we've just taken something, put it away, got it out again, and in fact, one of the advantages of being a band that exists in some state of form is. For about 7 years or so, is that we've got this catalogue of material that even we have forgotten sometimes, and we can take things.
It's a scrapbook, isn't it?
It is, yeah. And some of our songs do exist in various forms with various singers over the years. We've improved stuff. But I think we've got to the stage where I know that if I've written a riff that is strong enough, I can take it to these guys and we'll get a song about it. And if I've written something that I'm not sure about, or they're not sure about, they'll tell me, and we'll either scrap it or work on a way to improve it. But it really is a collaborative process for us.
Yeah, it seems to evolve and just take shape moving in different directions.
Yeah, and sometimes
Yeah.
we wouldn't expect, and I guess we listen to a lot of prog rock as well, and I think that has started to sort of come out a lot recently. Yeah, it's just like experimenting with time signatures and dynamics quite a lot, which is sort of an interesting thing. We're not a band that's going to be, you know, shouting and screaming in sort of death or black metal style. And although we love those sorts of things, it's not us. So what can we do to stand out? What can we do to be different? You know, maybe it's a sort of slightly more complex thing. Maybe it's going somewhere you wouldn't expect. Maybe it's throwing in a genre of metal that you weren't expecting, like putting a bit of thrash into something in somewhere, or
just a sprinkling.
Yeah, just a sprinkling of thrash. Maybe a bit of blues, and,
exactly.
and seeing where that goes.
You've kind of touched on it briefly as well, the influences that you have. How does that reflect into your writing and performance?
Oh wow.
I
I think for me, I'm much more into my rock, my heavy rock, my classic rock, and my rock metal. And you go a bit harder, that you record, go a bit more extreme. I think you can hear that in my drums. But I mean, we do this collaborative thing, and we do manage to meet in the middle pretty well, don't we? Yeah, really not saying that you heavily weighted towards extreme metal, because you've got a massive, catalog of influences that you draw from.
And it is, and I completely agree. And it is sort of interesting when you've got, say, a bass player playing a riff that could be by a band like Sleep, slow, fuzzy, and heavy, with Rob doing anything from a Led Zeppelin to a Living Colour drum beat over it, and I'm doing a blues hook. You know, it's we like to take things to different places. You know, and sometimes it is okay. I'll put a Black Sabbath LP on, and I think, what is it about this I like? Sometimes I'll hear something. And it'll just inspire me to write something new. Like I was listening to Purple by Baroness, their new release, and we've written a song. It's currently untitled, that will be on the next release, and it sounds nothing like anything on there at all. But it's something in there that sparked something, and and that's what I sort of like about the sort of the influences in terms of how they relate to the creative processes. You can take a spark from something, and it could just be a feeling, it could be emotion, sometimes a lyric as well, you know. And how that lyric makes you feel, and how do you turn that into a song, and that's sort of intriguing for me, you know. And how do you move beyond the very basis, like simple metal stuff? How do you move beyond the power chord and the beat? How do you move beyond the thrash riff and the solo? What can you do to make that interesting? What can you do to make that something that someone hasn't heard 1,000 times before? In a competition like this, you know, I think that's actually quite important. You know, you want to separate yourself. And and you don't want to be part of the crowd. Otherwise, you end up with a competition before it doesn't sound the same. And actually, that's what's very good about this competition, is the wide variety of bands of music.
With your style being so varied, do you get people saying, "Oh, you sound like this," or "You sound like this"? Sometimes
we do. We've been liking to.
Do you like that as well?
Trouble, Black Sabbath, certainly.
One chap likened us to, dare I say, Tenacious D. Because we have a sense of humour about it. Some of our songs. I mean, there's a song about all my allergies. That's supposed to be. It's got an immune balance to it. You know.
It's a list of Rob's allergies, and people seem to get onto that. And yes, that's a silly sort of thing. I've had people saying Megadeth, and which you might say Megadeth for a band like this, and I think that's a vocal approach. I thought it was more of a Billy Corgan thing. It was just when we started playing for a particular song, my voice came out like that, a sort of Dave Mustaine growl, and doesn't always. And we have been remarked, it has been remarked to us by some of the bands that, your songs actually sound quite different from each other, and kind of good. You know, and
objective achieved.
It is, and I guess for some people that can be quite jarring, but for us it's sort of, that's what we do, you know.
But we still think we're still happy that we have our sound, and we still think we've found our sound, even though we've got
and I think there is a sound in there, you know. It might be partly because of the guitars and amps, it might be because of, I think, very much your drumming style and the kind of scales I'm using when I'm writing. You know, there is a sound there, but I think if you actually listen, you'll be able to pick out quite a lot of our influences. We get Metallica sometimes, which intrigues me a lot, because I mean you've heard our stuff. I don't think it'll be the first thing that you'd say, but it is. But there's obviously bits there. I mean, Yeah, it's a great compliment.
Yeah.
So, like, I guess sometimes, and the same thing with the Zeppelin stuff, you know, and the Purple. You listen to stuff for so many years. How can you write stuff that is not at least partly based in that? You know.
Exactly.
It waits. And we have had occasions where we write something amazing and then we wrote something else. Once Paul wrote a really good bass line, and he realised it until he realised it was "Push It" by Salt and Pepper. It's like, this is really funky and groovy. Oh no!
Hang on a minute.
You know, sometimes that can happen, but sometimes you're jamming someone else's music and it can take a really nice direction that you wouldn't expect, and you can use something.
So we are at the Masters London 2016. You guys did last year. How have you found the competition this year? How was your heat? How was your visit? How was the other bands? Quite a lot of questions there.
It's crazy.
Well, how was the heat first? I mean, the heat was
a blur.
Yeah, absolutely, it was. Yeah. We took a little bit of a gamble in that we played a few new songs, didn't we? We did. They weren't all our tried and tested songs.
From
before.
Yeah, and I think quite a lot of the crowd had never seen us before.
True.
A lot of our usual crowd had difficulty making it, and I think we kind of won a few people over, and I don't think they were necessarily expecting what we brought.
No.
But that being said, the competition was vicious. 4 bands, and then Before the Wake, Zealous, and Mercury Rising, who I know you've spoken to before. We've got through enough now. I understand. I've got through to the semi, so well done. So different, and that's almost how do you judge that? And like I said, everyone sort of played.
They played the hearts out.
They played the hearts out, and it was really good to see. And I try and come as often as I can to these, no, it definitely is. But hasn't it grown? You know, like Mick's Little Baby has grown. I remember last year's. It was big. This is giant. You know, so many bands. And great to see so many bands come back. DBM, Empire Warning, Slave Steel.
And the bar, just seems to.
Yeah, everyone has brought their A game. Everyone is better. And I guess what's really nice for us is we played a lot of gigs on the scene in the last year. You know, so to see other bands that we played with before, like Bangover, Gabriel with a Vengeance. We played with. And I'm going to forget a load, Morag Tong, all these amazing bands that we've played with before. It's great to see them coming and just blowing everyone away. And almost the sad part of Metal Masters is, at least Metal Masters London, that you've got probably now 50 plus bands, all of whom are fantastic. Mick doesn't let the bad bands in, he makes a point of saying that. It's sad that can't be the festival itself, you know. But it just goes to you never know. Any band could win this, and it's huge and it's massive. And as a fan of this sort of music, you know that sort of like Sunday at Nambucca is sort of the place to be, because you could go and play some old tosser, pay some old tosser like £70 to go and see them noodle away at the O2, or you could pay very little to see the best music in the country. Yeah.
How have the incentives been attractive to bands? I think like obviously interviews like this, radio play, high guitars, incentive, heavy metal art, high quality videos this year. How is that important for the band themselves?
Well, for starters, the radio play was great to have. I don't know what kind of listenership. TBFM, sorry. But I mean that was wonderful to have for any exposure at the time.
Squad's been really, really great. I try and listen whenever I can, and I've been so busy. Like recently, I've had to catch his podcasts rather than live. But it's fantastic. He does such a good show week in, week out, and he's been great to us. Yourself, you know. Not to blow your own trumpet, but your videos are fantastic. And we're going to they'll hopefully, at least in some form, be making a debut on our Facebook or YouTube, and the photos as well. You know, so little things like that we didn't have when we first met you. We didn't have photographs. I know that sounds a stupid thing to say. We didn't have that, and now we have them thanks to guys like you.
What's happened, isn't it?
Yes,
it's the last year's.
High Poly produced a fantastic video. Thanks to Darius and Conrad for that. Obviously from the band Damage last year, who I used to teach in a previous life. Lovely guys, and well done on them for producing such quality work.
That's good.
And I know that Noon and Pete are doing the Empire guitar thing, and that's just stunning. I saw that they finished it, and it's
put it on show each week.
it's ridiculous. I mean, for most of us here, something like that is completely unaffordable and unattainable. And the fact that they're kind enough to put so much time and money into it when they don't have to, you know. And then same with you, same with Squatter, same with High Poly, same with I guess Very Metal, who are also doing the Art Prize, and you know, I know there's other sponsors like Diesel Amps and stuff. You know, so many, and I'm sure I've missed people. So many people who don't have to. They just don't have to, and they do because they care about it. And it, for a band like us, it means that we end up with a massive amount of publicity, a massive amount of exposure. We end up on, you know, in people's ears and on people's, you know, yeah, you know, the quality of like musicians in this competition, it's quite likely we won't end up with like the guitar. It's quite likely we won't end up with the Very Metal Andy's artwork. But still, you know, it's there, and it sort of drives you. You know, part of me thinks, for this quarter, if I can just, if I can do something, could I win this? And it's so inspiring that so many people are with you on this journey.
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I suppose obviously there's a huge incentive to play Duststock. How would you feel if that was you guys?
How would we feel, Tom? Wow. Imagine. I can only imagine.
Yeah,
I can only imagine.
It seemed
not sounding confident.
It still seems so far away. It's sort of like this dream, you know. And I've tried to run it through my head so many times. It's wouldn't that be something?
Quite something.
It would be sort of the pinnacle of like Bloodstock anyway. For a band like ours, that would be the pinnacle of what we could achieve with or without the competition. But I mean, it would be
pinch me. It'd be pinch me.
So, if there's somebody out there who hasn't seen you play or heard you before, what would you say to them to come and check you guys out?
Do you like metal? Do you like fun music? Do you like guitar riffs? Do you like a ginger drummer who's allergic to everything? Then come and see Bad Frankenhausen. No, you know,
I would have done it.
It would have done.
I was happy with it. Or you can edit out.
I mean, I think, but seriously though, I think if you're into the hard rock heavy metal genre, if you like sort of stoner rock doom bands, if you love the sort of the classic rock and metal we all listened to when we were young, you know, give us a chance, because I think you really will find something in Bad Frankenhausen that you enjoy.
Yeah, not to put too much pressure on ourselves. We do get told quite regularly that we sound like a live band. We sound like we should be playing live.
Yeah, and I completely agree. I think that we appreciate every single person who comes and sees us and buys our physical records, buys our digital records. But I think we are a live band first and foremost, and I think that's where you want to be.
Yeah,
and that's what you want to see.
No, thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And best of luck.
Thank you, Ricky. This is our track Blind Wizard Man from our debut release Ents. Enjoy.